Okay, the very last lesson in this chapter is solving problems using expressions and equations. So what I've done is I'm going to do this video a little differently. I've kind of just written down all the answers, kind of showed you through the work. What I'm going to ask you to do, since this is kind of a review lesson, is to basically take a second, read through the problem, and then take a look at the work that I've done. And I recommend that you sort of pause the video, try to do the problem yourself, and then come back and listen to my explanation of it. So if you are ready to do example 1, go ahead, pause the video, try to look at it, and then in a second, play the video and I'll give my explanation then. So in example 1 here, write two expressions that represent 1/3 of the difference between these two. So the difference between these two tells you that we're subtracting them, and then 1/3 of it, so I just multiplied by 1/3. The other option was I actually went ahead and distributed it, which became -6 minus 0.25. You could also even write this down as the -18 minus the 0.75 and then divide it by 3. This would go in parentheses up here. That's another way of showing a third. Anyway, you get -6.25. Example number 2, pause the video, take a second, and try and work this one out. For this one, William earns $16.80 per hour working his job. He receives a raise of 5%. So I said his initial salary was 100%, and the raise gets added on as 5%. So it's 105% of what he used to make previously. So I multiplied it by 1.05 and got his new hourly rate. It then asked for 7.5 hours a day, so I multiplied and got his total per day. Pause the video, take a look at example 3. It's asking you to find an average or a mean change in value. To find the mean, you first have to calculate the sum of all these changes, and the sum came out to be -2,815. After you calculate the sum, you then divide by how many there were, which was a total of 5 different points, which dividing gives you -563, and since it's a negative, it's telling you that it's a loss in value. Go ahead and take a look at example 4 and pause the video and then come back. For this one, I said that since it's 25% off, you're paying 75% of the price of the course. When you multiply that, you get $36 for the class. In example 5, at the farmer's market, she got this many pounds at this price, so multiply them. And she bought this many pounds at this price, multiply them. I multiplied them out and added them up to get her total amount for her purchase. The last example here is kind of a longer example. Basically, you're comparing two toys. The wooden toy is $25.50, and all you have to do is calculate the sales tax on it. So I calculated 6% sales tax, added it on. There's the final cost of the wooden toy. The plastic toy, though, it says is 1/3 of the price. So 1/3 of the wooden price toy, so it's $8.50 for the cost of the plastic toy. The tax will be different since it's a different value. So I calculated new tax, it was only 51 cents, and the final cost of the plastic toy was $9.01. Wants to know how much more will he pay if he buys the wooden toy. So we're trying to find the difference between them, and he would end up paying $18.02 more.